Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. It's the psychiatric, self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve the problems, challenges, obstacles in our lives, as well as a self-improvement process, to reach the highest goals and ambitions that we've set for ourselves and those around us. With that being said, if you'd like a breakdown and summary into how we turn this Ahn Rho Project into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, and so on and so forth, you can find that all, including the live stream schedule and the copyright-free music, in the previous live streams for the past 3.5 years straight to January 2021. So that being said, let's dive into the second segment, which is just table of contents. What do we want to cover today? How we're going to break down the live stream, usually about 15 minutes long, and we have about 10 segments, but today we're going to focus majority on 2. So here's what they are. The first one, of course, was the introduction, kind of summary, kind of a recall to the previous live streams if you want to get there. The second one is the table of contents, which we're doing right now. The third after this is going to be the disclaimer section, also things that just generally things to keep in mind as you're watching and listening. The fourth segment is going to be the directory, which compiles all the different media files that may be a part of each daily live stream, podcast, recording, or whatever. The fifth one is going to be photography. No, not photography, sorry. It will be digital media assets, so media, information. Usually that covers philosophy or education or anything like that. And then we move on to the sixth segment, which has to do with the photography. That typically covers things like dietetics, groceries, purchases, financing, mostly food. That's the way I would say it. The seventh segment is the last digital segment of the entire stream. It usually covers things like measurements, tracking my fitness, tracking budgeting, a lot of measurements, and a lot of like on an Excel database. And then we move on to more abstract things and more physical things on the seventh segment. So the seventh segment is more active. We get up and we move around the room. So if I remove this kind of screenshot, which is usually the photography, which we're going to show in about maybe 2-3 minutes time, you can see in the backdrop there instead the physical portion, which is the 7th or 8th segment. We're going to move around the room. We have a lot of stuff to get through. That's a lot of inventory, I guess, if you want to use a business analogy. After that is going to be the 8th and 9th segment, which typically we sit down on a chair and just kind of talk about a lot of storytelling, a lot of relationships and finance and stuff that basically I can't show you visually. I'll give you stories about, and then finally we'll sit down and deliver the take-home message and answer any questions or comments. Or if you want to just leave some funny memes and shits and giggles in the bottom left-hand side, feel free to do that. All right, I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can, but if it's not today, it'll be the next live stream. That being said, let's dive into the third segment, which is of course the disclaimers and things to keep in mind. First thing you may notice, of course, this is a high utility stream. It means that of course it has to be beneficial. If it's not, then otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. Right now it's only of benefit to me, clearly, but eventually one day it'll be useful and hopefully relatable to some of you out there too. So it's a very purpose-driven stream. With that being said, the second disclaimer, of course, is that, or thing to keep in mind, is that because of that, there's a good gaming analogy. So I used the business analogy. You can use a gaming analogy as well. Applying game theory to real life, I guess that's one way you can do it. So I intend on trying to bring it all together into one comprehensive project in the future like that. And it's a work in progress. And last but not least, we are going to be real, raw, and genuine, and try to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly. I had to be honest on the stream. This is like a time capsule by analogy, a time record. Another analogy of the Ahn Rho Project in part is that yes, it is a time capsule of my life. So let's get started. Okay, we'll start off with the media assets because we want to get through that really quickly, so we can dive into the photography. That's the main one, as well as the directory. So the directory, we don't have actually a lot to cover because there were no podcasts, no recordings yesterday. It's very simple. We just had a live stream, so that was ARP 800. So that's our landmark. Now we're at the 801 today. This ARP 801 live stream. So there's no recordings I have to showcase. I will say that there is something I haven't done in a while, and that's the bottom right hand side. You can see this panel here, this directory. We have a new sort of file created for the task list, and it's right now numbering into the 1470 so far, but basically there's a whole bunch of stuff here that I had to get done, and it kind of showcases it all. So it's a little bit of a link of all the different file assets together. Let's move on to digital assets. So from the 4th segment directory over to the 5th, we have this on Instagram right here in the bottom central. Okay, not my stuff, copyright free stuff. I mean, copyright is copyrighted stuff, so you have to go to Stoic Reflections, and all credit goes to them. This is not my stuff, not my shit. Alright, so there is no genius, no great genius without a touch of madness. It's kind of common sense, just kind of like, yeah, of course. I hope I don't have to explain this, because I don't have time to explain this anyways. But I agree, more or less I agree. And whether or not it's a good or bad thing, I'll leave that up to your discretion, because there are great geniuses, and there are some really horrific geniuses who have done all sorts of terrible things. But regardless, that's what it takes to be a genius. All right, now let's move on. So that's a bit of philosophy there. Okay, we really want to cover food and photography. We have so much to get through today. You can tell that I'm just trying to rush through to get over to this segment right now. We have about 10 minutes left, and we have only 5 minutes allocated to this kind of portion. So you see on the top right hand side, matters 36 by 2 supply grocery spree. So this is a lot of groceries. We went to 4 different places to get groceries yesterday, from Shoppers Drug Mart to Walmart to Dollarama and to No Frills. So a lot of stuff, a lot of equipment, a lot of stuff for the workplace, a lot of stuff for other people, a lot of stuff for myself. There's food, there's supplies, electronics. We're going to run through all of it. And I would say that, touching a little bit on the digital aspect, $75 altogether. The purchases like 27 here, 25 there, 21 there, and then there's one for only $3. That was Shoppers Drug Mart. So 4 different purchases. That's why it says $75 divided by 4. But overall, there were like 36 different items. Like most of them cost like $2 or $3 each. So with that being said, let's just dive right into it. We have this kind of mass collage. First of all, you can see it's just kind of collection of everything. I also received some food on the bottom. You can see here that's like stir-fried noodles. We call that what is it? Tao mein. So that's just Cantonese fried egg noodles. Typical Hong Kong style street food. So I received that from my garden. So that's from a restaurant called Siwa Tantang. So basically like a Chinese, Cantonese, typical conservative traditional restaurant. So that's that, and I received that's a class 2 item. Because it's not something I purchased myself. But you can see the collage here, and we're gonna run through a good majority of all this stuff here. So let's get rid of it. Let's start off here, working backwards. This is Walmart, the most latest purchase. You can see there's some chips at the top, Kettle's chips, jalapeno flavor, trying it out. We have these things on sale, the pretzel cookies. It's a depth food. I'm gonna give that back to my guardians because I ate some. We have a new flavor of fruit to go that's like raspberry lemon. Okay, we see the receipts at the very bottom. We also see that I took some photographs on that side of some interesting tools for people with disabilities. So it's very interesting. I didn't see that before in the kind of like health and wellness section of Walmart. Moving on, let's move on to this side here. This is some depth food items, so you can see by depth, once again, class 2 in nature for my domestic. So I'm not supposed to eat from this basically, but I did receive it. Aside from the Siwa Tantang, so kind of like a stir-fried noodles. We also have this what we call niao ho. It's like a flat noodles, thick beef noodles kind of stuff, and you can see the sriracha over it. So basically another class 2 item I had to document. Not supposed to eat it, but I did. And then we have up here. Okay, let's move on to it seems like this is Dollarama here. So we're moving to the tech section of Dollarama, which is for the most part barred off by the provincial government because right now we're in a lockdown setting. So you see the mouse, and like some electronics there. I really want to recon scout out that thing that says West Aisle. West Aisle, that's like a RF prevention, protects your people from running by and scanning the credit cards in your wallet and stuff like that. So I really want to get one of those to try to block out the radiation from my cell phone. If I can do something to pull out the contraption that blocks out the radiation, I would like to do that. We also have these like chips on the side, black pepper chips. That's because I haven't had this in a while, and I figured I was pick it well up while I'm there. You see also some on the very top right hand side, these elastic straps right here on this corner, black elastic straps. I bought 5 of those. Trying to make another drop leg rig as a gift for one of my colleagues before I leave. I've already resigned, so my date of leaving is coming, and I want to give him a gift. He asked me for one originally a long time ago. We also have some chips here, which are Pringles sour chips. I need to pay back to my guardian, so that's that. Moving on, the rest section of Dollarama, just kind of like the beauty and food section at the back. So I took a photograph of that red hair color one because eventually one day, it's like 5 years down the road, I may just do a little bit of testing with dyeing like certain very limited parts of like the very tips of my hair. I don't like to dye my hair at all, just the very, very tips. And for the first time ever, I've never tried it, and you can tell I'm not going to try it. But I mean, until like 5 years down the road. But it's just an idea that I want to capture. We have also this kind of like Colgate sensitive tooth, so I'm trying to see enamel and sensitive Sensodyne. Again, gum recession, something that has happened, and I have to take care of that as well. We see also there's some masks I'm recounting out. So those are the K95 masks, typical for the nurse, but I didn't realize that Dollarama had them too. We have also at the very bottom fabric, it's not fabric freshener, it's like that Febreze kind of air freshener kind of thing that you squirt everywhere, and then kind of antibacterial nature, so I scanned it up. Moving on, we have this stuff here from No Frills. What is that? That's like stuff that's on sale, those paper napkins on sale. We have also those chips. For the most part, I use a class 2 and I have to give it back to my guardians. I ate this like a year ago. We have more of the Vietnamese kind of traditional food on the bottom right hand side. That's kind of like coconut jelly and stuff like that, as well as Vietnamese subs with cold cut and like a meatball type of thing. That's a class 2 item, but the grocery items obviously are mine that I purchased with my own hard-earned money. We also have, you take on the look on the left hand panel here, it looks like even more, is that chips? I don't know. And the top left hand side here, some dusters. So the dusters, I actually need to get it because I'm supposed to clean up the room here right now, which is a fucking mess still. I mean, compared to a couple of days ago, it was much better, but still. Yeah, I needed that as well. Okay. And then you see, of course, the panel on the bottom right here. You do see that there's that whole philosophical media asset thing there. Moving on, let's continue. We have this, once again, more of this picture of that air freshener kind of stuff, not air freshener, antibactericide that you spray on your clothing, fabrics. We also have that headlamp, so that's another piece of equipment that I want to buy for my colleagues, because we're always on the container and shipping and trying to clear all the packing, all the products from the containers. It gets real dark sometimes, and sometimes you don't have a light that can extend all the way down through. So I figured, before I leave, once again, a gift, I'm going to buy a couple of these headlamps and just say, hey, here's a good idea, guys, just strap it over your head and just turn it on. And I'll wear it and I'll help them out before. It'd be kind of like a good way to leave the company. Then we have 1, 2, 3, like 2 of these different brands of paper towels. I didn't buy any of them, but I did notice that there's like 400 sheets and it's just for $4, so not bad. And then the lamps here on the top in the middle right here, which is stupid. I hated these. I thought it would be good, but then I realized that they said AAA batteries are required. So why would I want a lamp that requires batteries? Come on. I was expecting a cord or something. Okay, we're in No Frills now, which is good because we're moving along ahead. We see some chocolate cashews. Those are something new that I didn't realize existed. But I guess I didn't, it wasn't on sale. It was like $5, so I decided not to. We have again, plastic garbage bags. I need to refill on that because laundry's running out. I'm running out of the laundry bags. We also have cheese Ritz here, which is not on sale. It's a debt item. I had to purchase it for my gardens once again from binge eating, but no. And then we took, this is funny, 27 cents. When can you go to the grocery store and get something for 27 cents? That's how cheap it was. Also, again, the coconut water, not on sale. I had to take a picture of that, so yeah. And then we got some cookies on top right hand side there, but yeah, it's not that important really. Okay, shit, we have only about a minute left. I might have to do 2 streams today because I have no intention of leaving things for tomorrow morning. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But here we have only a minute left. Like I said, we have this kind of hero brand garbage bags on the bottom. We have the dusters on the left hand side, and this is all again from No Frills. So I didn't buy any of this. I don't believe I did. Oh shit, this is Dollarama. This is not No Frills. Oh, okay. So I bought the hero brand garbage. We'll see them in probably the second stream today or tomorrow morning. And then also the dusters here. And then on top, Scotty's like paper towels, facial tissues. Didn't buy that. And then stuff like that. So a lot of cleaning materials, lots and lots of toiletries, lots of equipment, lots of food. It seems like I'm out of time now, unfortunately. Here's the receipt for No Frills. I gotta end it, so it's too bad. I can't do it all today. Maybe I don't know, later today. Gotta go.